Okay, good evening, everyone, and thank you all for joining this book chat today. Thank you for joining the book chat for this month. This is the second time we're meeting in this month, and I appreciate your presence here for this conversation beyond the pages. My name is Oluwa Pelumi, or if you're just joining and if this is the first time of you getting to meet me, my name is Oluwa Pelumi, or and I'm delighted to be the person who is leading the team at Bookie, make sure that we're able to get people's books to the eyes of potential readers. which then can be translated into money, because the more the person who read your book, the more the money you have, and that is important. I have always been of the opinion that everyone who writes a book should get rewarded for efforts. If you write a book, you take your time to put a book together. I have always been of the opinion that people should have something to take home to say thank you so much for impacting me, and somebody to take for impacting me. That's something I've always hoped and desired that it happens for every author. One of the reasons I set up boutique to make certain that happens as much as possible. Today, we are here briefly to have a conversation with the author of the book, The Four Protectors, Mental Tools Every Girl Should Have in Her Back Pocket. So I guess this should be anchored by a lady because I know that ladies, you guys have your special talk. I think I'm also aware that people have your WhatsApp pages where you have conversation around, you talk about men a lot. How can you do that to her? Talk about men a lot. I read something very, very funny today. I don't know if I could project it. I don't know if I could project what I read. When I read about the title, it just came to mind, and just scrolling through social media today, it just popped. I wish I'm able to find. I think it's just cool if I find it talking about men. See, it's about men there. But you can let me know in the comments where you're watching this from. We're also trying to wait for our author who should be here in a moment. Our author who should be here in a moment. My goodness, you see this thing? Yes. The four protectors, mental tools every girl should have in her back pocket. The tools every girl should have in her back pocket. So whilst I search for what I found out today, I will just go on to say what was in that particular message I saw. It was that a guy walked up to a lady and asked her to be his girlfriend, and the lady said no to him. And so it was sad, it was bad, he felt bad, and then he went to he left her, approached another lady who said yes to him. And then they both then got married and they lived happily ever after. And the lady who said no to the guy who got married, saw another guy she liked, and then told the guy, I'm sorry, I don't know if this sounds, I don't know how this will sound, but I think I'm in love with you. I like your mustache. I like your dimple. I mean, you look like the man for me, and I see you as the man I can love and be with for a very long time. I mean, forever. Sorry. And then she told him everything. The guy said, I'm sorry. I don't see you that way. I don't like you enough to be my wife. And I know you're just joking, but I tried to say that. And the man pushed that away. And the lady she then became a feminist. I mean, a very toxic one. Started writing on her status that you see what we are saying. Is a man that's supposed to change the woman, the woman. She wrote about 5 things on her social media page. But the guy, different. The guy asked you out to say no. This is what you asked him out, and then you can't bear the rejection. Some ladies do not to bear rejection like that. But I don't know if that's what Amarachi has in her book. And we're gonna talk about some of the things that he has written in her book as to mental tools, how you can how you can accept rejection as a woman, and well, let us talk as ladies. I mean, lady, well, there's a lady in me, right? So there's a God took the rib off Adam and produced Eve. Okay, so our author for this one is here already. She is here already, and just to be sure that she can hear me, Amarachi, can
Yeah,
you hear
I
me?
can hear you. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Good
yes, I
evening.
can hear you. Happy Sunday to you.
Sunday, thank you.
Awesome. Okay, well, for those who don't know Amarachi yet, Amarachi, I'll just do a bit of introduction of Amarachi, which is she has written in a book. You'll find this in a book as well, that she is known as the Radiant Rebel. Wow, the Radiant Rebel is a Nigerian writer, creative currently on the journey of self mastery. Her work is rooted in clarity, emotional resilience, and deep self trust. She doesn't claim to have it all figured out, but along the way, she's picked up mental tools that have helped her stay grounded, soft, and strong. This guidebook is one of those offerings, a simple way to pass on what she's learned so far to younger girls who may be feeling confused, tired, or in need of an inner protection. She believes in showing up as she is, learning as she goes, and making space for other girls to do the same. Okay, welcome once again. So let's start with what you are known as, your alias Amarachi, Radiant Rebel. What inspired that name, Amarachi?
Yeah, you said well. Sorry, I you said I'm known as Radiant Rebel. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. What
Okay.
what inspired the name?
Okay. It's kind of it's kind of like spiritual, kind of like a spiritual name sort of, but Radiant Rebel is it's a name from two realms. It's a name from two parts of life, and that's the light and the dark. Because when we think of rebel, we think of someone who is bad or someone who is wicked or someone who is mean, But that's not what it means. It just means somebody who walks her own path, who does things her own way, and in a country like Nigeria and in a world like the world at large, a woman who decides to move in her own kind of way will be seen as destructive, will be seen as someone who is not moving with the system, moving with the way things are supposed to be. So that's where my name Rebel came out from. Then Radiance comes from me being the bold, shining person that I am, the person who is bold and who is not scared of showing herself and being herself, the great light, the one who shines the path and all. So that's where I coined the both names from. It's Radiance and it's Rebel. Radiance Rebel. Thank
Amazing
you.
stuff. Amazing
Thank
stuff.
you.
Thank you very much for shedding light. So let's talk about your book. And the first thing that got my attention was the title of your book, The Four Protectors, Mental Tools Every Girl Should Have in Our Back Pocket. Where we just touch on quickly the different headlines of your book, different chapters of your book, starting with self validation. It looks as though you have been through a lot, Samarachi. Have you been through a lot?
I won't say I've been through. Maybe, maybe because maybe that's
Hey,
where that's where lessons. That's where you bring out things from. Sometimes we just have to go through the fire to bring out tools from inside. I just feel like it's part of the past, part of it.
hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm guessing that there's somebody out there now who's thinking, what have you been through that you can share? There's something you've been through that you want to share.
I don't think I've really been through like a lot of like bad things. I just feel like I have been through things that a lot of women can they can relate to, being in Nigeria, being a Nigerian and living in a very strong patriarchal society and all of that. I just feel like it is one of those things. And this
Hmm,
book comes from me observing. It's not really from just my lived experience alone. It's me looking around me and being observant of the patterns that I've seen amongst young women and how much they don't know what's going on underneath and in depth. As somebody who is very tapped in, who is connected to a lot of like connected to, God, connected to God, can see things from that point of view. There are a lot of things that are not being seen, they're not being said. There are a lot of young girls and even women, they want to put into words, but they don't know how to put into words, but it's something that they feel. That's where this book comes from. It's not really for what things I've been through, but of course, I have to go through some things to be able to bring out this for people. I have to be able to go through some things. I cannot teach from just a place of privilege. I can't just teach from up there. It's not really going to hit because is not going to be relatable to what the everyday woman experiences in Nigeria.
Okay, okay, fair enough, fair enough. But let's jump right into the book itself, talking about the four protectors. The first protector you have here is self-validation, and self-validation, which is something you subtitled
Can you hear me?
"Remember Who You Are,"
Okay.
lady. I can hear you. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I said that the first protector you have here is self-validation,
Yeah,
and the subtitle is "Remember Who You Are." How do you
yeah.
think a lady who knows who she is, how do you think that can protect her? And protect her from what?
Protect her from manipulation, protect her from lies, protect her from gaslighting, protect her from not knowing the right choices to make in life as a whole. I don't think
Mm,
that a lot of women know, like, I've seen this pattern of women waking up in at their 40s, 50s, and realizing, like, where am I? What am I doing? And all of that. I just feel like it's because of these things that young women are not, they're not really putting names to, and they don't know. So self-validation is just like you knowing yourself. And when you know yourself, you know the choices that you are making from knowing yourself, who you are. If you go out on the street and you meet five women and ask them who are you, they will tell you their name. But when you ask them who are you, let's take away your name, take away your husband, take away your children, take away your title at work, let's strip you bare. Who are you? Who are you? Who is this person that is in front of me? They don't really know anything. They just look at you and be like, I don't know. So you are what society told you you should be. Who are you underneath? And if I want to use the biblical reference, I would say it's something that I think God was trying to teach someone like Job in the Bible, like stripping him bare of everything so that he could really see who he was without everything and know who he was. This is something that a lot of women don't know. And they wake up in their 30s, they wake up in their 40s, and they start saying, oh, I'm having midlife crisis. I don't like this. I don't like that. It's just your
mm,
soul trying to remember things that society has tried to just drown and put you in a box and put you in this shift of box and all of that. And I know that there are women like me who do not want to be in boxes, who want to know themselves, who want to validate themselves, and from that power make choices that they want for themselves. A lot of young women are trapped and just following the ideologies of the people in their life, family, father, brother, uncle, mother, sister, pastors, and just following what society says, and they feel so empty and tired within. And nobody cares to ask. Nobody cares to be like, oh, what do you think about yourself? Nobody really cares. So this is where self-validation is. That is the protection. Self-validation is protecting a woman from moving wrongly, from making choices from within herself, from her own, not from just what anybody, not even what I say, from her own self. Like, what do you want for yourself? That is where self-validation comes in from. And a lot of women are also scared to validate themselves. A lot of women are so scared. A lot of young women, a lot of women are scared of validating themselves. They need the opinions of everybody around them before they make one step. And that's not how a sovereign woman moves. That's not how a woman who is in her power, that's not how she moves.
okay, very strong point you made there, starting how knowing one's self, and most importantly, ladies, how when a lady knows herself, she's able to protect herself. And you're saying that there is also there's a way that knowing who you are, knowing your person, can protect you from manipulation. So what are the core things? Would you say three top things a lady needs to know about herself? Just to say that again, three top things a lady should know about herself.
Okay, so the first thing a woman needs to know about herself is I can't point out what she needs to know about herself. I think that's her journey. But one thing I would say woman just need to know about herself is what does she like? What are the things she likes? She needs to know the things she likes. Like, not what somebody told her, not what she saw online. Not like, what do you like from within you? Because if we say we are children of God and we have God within us and Jesus, like we are children of God, that means you have your intrinsic value within you. What do you like? And who are you at your base level? Like, who are you at your, I can't tell this. It's not something I can tell a specific woman and say this is what you should know. And it's because it's her own journey. It's a very deep. intrinsic journey that she has to go on by on herself. But knowing what you like, knowing who you are at your base, and knowing what you want, those are the three things that I feel like a woman should know. A woman
Mm.
should know. That's what she needs self-awareness for.
Okay. Okay. That very, very important point you made there. And then um, you said some affirmations, things a lady needs to say in a book, and I see that you also have affirmations in different chapters of your book. How powerful are affirmations? How powerful do you think affirmations are in protecting our mind?
How powerful are you
Affirmations,
said?
because you have affirmations everywhere.
How powerful are the protections or what?
No, how powerful are affirmations? Affirmations.
Okay, affirmations are very powerful because it's like okay, it's what affirmations is what we call declarations when we want to
Mm,
look at it in Christianity and all of that, is you speaking with more authority than just like praying and just like, oh, I'm praying, God help me with this. When you affirm, is you speaking with your authority and the power that it is happening in the present. What makes affirmation so powerful is that it is something that is said in the present moment. When we look at the book of Genesis, for instance, we want to start from Genesis chapter 1, verse 1. When God, he used affirmation when he said, let there be light. He didn't say there should be light tomorrow or let's pray that light should come down. Or that was strong affirmation there, let there be light. Because he was speaking in the present moment of the time that it was in. It was not there should be light tomorrow. Let the lights be coming or no. It was not future tense. It was not in future tense. It was not past nothing. It was just let there be light, and that is what affirmation is like. Affirmation is you speaking in the present moment of anything that you're trying to call into your reality and with strong authority and with love in your heart that you know that you have the power to speak things into existence because you are also a child of God. And one person who exercises affirmations very well again is Jesus. You can see him when he speaks with so much authority in the Bible in so many places. So yeah, so affirmations are
mm,
powerful.
mm. Okay, a very strong point you made there. Very strong point you made there about how powerful affirmations are and how that they help us in just in stamping whatever desires we have. And just it's like letting the world know this is what I realized about myself. And I like the fact that you have affirmations on every chapter of your book. Now, protector number two, boundaries. Boundaries and guard your peace. Are you right? Did you write this from the place of boundaries with family members, boundaries with our work? Where should we start drawing boundaries from?
Okay, so women should start like going boundaries from everywhere, everything, because it's very people can step on your boundaries in very subtle ways. I even said it in the book that it's very subtle. These things I'm talking about are very subtle things, but people can step on your boundaries anywhere. Your gate man, your family member, your friend, anybody can overstep your boundaries, and people most of the time test women's boundaries a lot. And if you don't catch it and you don't know it, you are just going to just allow it be, and they will keep repeating it and repeating it and keep on going on and keep on repeating it on you because you do not have boundaries. And boundaries at the workplace, yes. Boundaries at schools, yes. Boundaries with your friend, yes. Somebody says something that is disrespectful. Sometimes I see some of my clients, they'll tell me that, oh, they are so scared to like what that person said really pained me, but I don't know how to tell that person. I'll tell them, tell the person there, this thing you said is disrespectful. Do not repeat it again. Thank you. Then you going home and taking that resentment with you and going to sleep with that resentment and feeling that pain and that hurt within you and feeling like I should have stood up for myself. I should have said something. I should have done something. Boundaries is something a woman should have at all times. You should always something. That's why I said it's a mental tool you keep at your back pocket. That means it's something that you take everywhere you go to, anywhere you go to, and it comes from also respecting yourself too, because you cannot ask for boundaries and then you are not you don't know how to respect other people's boundaries. When they tell you no, you are also scared and I'm like no. Why did the person tell me no? Because the person does not want you to step on their boundaries. It's something very reciprocal. So boundaries is something a lot of women need to learn. I feel like this one is really directed to women, especially because they need to really learn boundaries. They really need to understand what boundaries is like. And a lot of women have faced a lot of sexual harassment, rape, and all of that. That's somebody overstepping your boundaries, you saying no and they don't listen to you. So this is something that really touches the hearts of so many Nigerian women out there. They understand what boundaries is like. Even with parents, I have clients that will come to me and they'll tell me that my mom is not, she's just overstepping my boundaries. I'm just tired, and I will tell them, calm down, I understand how it is. So it's something very broad, and everybody can overstep your boundaries if you are not mindful. That's where the next protector comes in, which is mindfulness. So yes.
Okay. Well, you spoke about mom now, and it's important that we also touch on this boundary thing a bit. When it has to do with relationship, a woman to a man relationship, what are two boundaries you think that they're in love, they're in love with themselves, and what are the boundaries do you think a lady should have when dealing with somebody she loves that she's not yet married to? Yeah.
Okay. Well, that can be very personal. That can be very very personal. But boundaries in okay, I'll talk for myself. I'll speak for myself because that can be very
Okay.
personal. Boundaries can look different for different people. Like it's very personal. But for me now, my boundaries is me keeping part of myself to myself. I don't really like some women should feel comfortable with keeping part of themselves to themselves. I think this is something that men are very good at. So that's why you see a man, he can have another life somewhere else and he's married, and because men know how to keep part of themselves to themselves. And that's something that I've mastered or I'm mastering, and I think a lot of women can also learn to keep part of themselves to themselves. That is the mystery. That is the chase that a lot of young girls see chasing, a man chasing as them being hard, and then the man is chasing it, and then that's not really a chase. The chase is you keeping a mystery to yourself. That can be boundaries. It can be like you not really sharing everything about yourself to a man and just allowing him to get to know you bit by bit, and enjoying the mystery of, oh, I'm uncovering this beautiful girl that I'm dating. That is the chase there. I think that's what is enticing to men, not um the one that, like, the surface level one of you are keeping a man on and you don't want to talk to him for 10 days and you don't want, and you're telling him he should chase. I think that's not really the chase that's there. So boundaries can look like that. And if a man tries to overstep your boundaries in that sense, then that's for someone you're dating. And boundaries can be like you don't want your man having friend, like being friends with your friend, like your best friend. Don't be close to my best friend. Don't have her contact. And if he oversteps his boundary and he gets her contact, and that can be like someone overstepping your boundary. That's boundaries there being overstepped. Or you you don't like you don't want to sleep over at his place. So you can look different for different women, depends on their values, their interests, their personal choices or wants and all of that. Like boundaries can look different for so many women. For me now, for instance, one of my boundaries is I don't like anybody I'm dating must not know my house. I don't allow men to know my house. And that's my boundaries. And if a man traces me or follows me and he knows my house, I think the relationship is gone from there. So boundaries can look different. No, boundaries can look different for different women. So yeah. So yes,
Okay, so
yeah.
you don't want, is it that you're afraid that it will touch you?
I'm not scared that he will touch me. I don't just know. It will take a very long time before I allow someone to know my house. Like that's me just keeping boundaries because I don't know what's going on in the minds of some people. You can't really know people. So at the end of the day, you just have to
Mm,
protect yourself.
okay, okay, I hear you there. I hear you there. And I think we've stayed quite some time on this boundaries thing, but you also mentioned about boundaries with parents. And I think one of the subtitle of your protector number two is to guard your peace. Guard your peace. How do you think with parents this way? Because sometimes some parents demand and keep demanding. I don't know if that's what was in your mind when you mentioned about parents. But how do you draw boundaries with parents, and in what way exactly?
I think one way that we can keep boundaries with our parents is through awareness, number one, and through number one is awareness. I tell my clients, I'll tell them awareness first. Awareness, you knowing yourself, you knowing when you the thing about self-awareness is that when you know yourself, you start knowing others. So you start looking at your parents even differently. And when they try to like move some certain ways to overstep your boundaries, there's a lot of mercy that can be given to them because you can see where they come from, you can see their perspective, you can see their upbringing, you can see their life, you can see their generation they grew up in. You can see a lot of things that will make you look at them and be like, these people are just acting their age, they're acting their own time. This is them. And then communication. Communication, not in the angry way of, oh, mommy, you would have not know. It's like sitting your mom down and being like, look at what you did, or look at what you said. I didn't like it. It made me feel some type of way. I think that I know that African parents can be very hard on, but I know that for a fact that when you sit with an African parent and you are honest with your communication, like you're opening yourself up and being like, this is not something I saw somewhere. No, this is how I feel about what you did or said to me in that moment, and I don't feel good about it. And I want us to talk about it. I feel like at least 70% of parents will be able to have that kind of honest communication. But most of the time, 9 out of 10 is just going to be awareness. It's just going to be you seeing them for who they are and just extending grace, at least to our parents. But when it comes to somebody on the outside, there's not really much grace that should be given. But our parents, they're still our parents at the end of the day.
Okay, amazing, amazing there. Amazing. You have hit a very, very important point. Number three, we're taking number three, mindfulness. Mindfulness. And the subtitle is stay present and stay soft. Stay present and stay soft. Now, when I hear say soft, sometimes it's a bit. I think it contradicts drawing boundaries in a way because some guys will say, "You don't want me to come to your house. You're too tough. You're too tough." So, what do you mean by first staying soft? What do you mean by staying soft there?
I highlighted on soft and staying soft and being soft even with all these tools because of balance. A lot of the times there are women who know these things that I'm saying, like they can read my book, they understand these things I'm saying, but a lot of the times they just move into the current position, they just move into the anger, the no, no, don't do like this, not touch me. They get into this very defensive mode. That's why I'm always bringing that softness into it. Staying soft is you being grounded in communication of your boundaries, being grounded in communication of things that you do not want and you don't like. Like I'm not going to see somebody now. Okay, I'm dating someone and he decides to just show up at my door. I'm not going to now break bottle and start shouting, "Why do you come to my house? Why do you?" I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to calmly be like, "I told you not to like come here," and stay grounded, even though my boundaries is being overstepped. I know that I don't like what I'm doing, what somebody's doing to me, but it does not call for me to spiral. So I can be calm and be like, "I told you I don't want you to come here." And sometimes being soft can being soft even while being strong, there's the balance between soft and strong and strength, like not entering into the masculine energy and becoming very masculine like a man, not entering that space, being in that balance can really help with even the person like, oh, I didn't mean to come here, but look at what made me come here while I'm traveling or something. Like anything can happen that can allow such that can bring about your communication of your boundaries without you going back and forth and being so aggressive or being angry and being it's not really like that. Being protective of yourself mentally, being mindful of your actions, all these things are not really masculine. It's not something that you have to do overtly and you have to show yourself, I'm being mindful, I have strong boundaries, look at me. Like boundaries are not even supposed to be communicated. Sometimes you don't even need to just be telling the person, oh, as you're coming here now, don't do like this. No, sometimes allow people be who they are and just observe them and then take them for what it is. Don't try to change them. Don't try to just, okay, this is how you move. I don't like it. And then you move on with your life. You don't really need to push yourself or be pushy. When a woman starts being pushy, that's when she starts entering that masculine, that man like energy. So that's where softness comes in. Softness is you, is you. You can, at the end of the day, you can control just you. Even with this whole, that is why this four protectors is about, like, I shine the light more on the woman, like on the person reading. I don't really talk about people or say we can't control this person or can't, no. At the end of the day, it's you. You can only do what you can do for your own self. And that's where the softness comes in. It's always in remembering that it's only you can control at the end of the day. You can only control your actions and how you move at the end of the day, and just move accordingly to what you see. So it's not really a hard, like, it's not really like, oh, I have boundaries and they stay soft. And it's not really, no. It's just balance. A very soft woman can can have all these mental tools, and people would not even know. She's just very gentle, very soft, but she just moves accordingly without explanations, without talking, without shouting, without much talk, just moving accordingly to what she's saying and what is being portrayed to her. That's all.
Okay, okay. But I want to ask you about it. Are you a tough person?
Am I a tall person? Do you mean tall by
Are you,
height or tough?
no, are you tough? Are you tough? Yeah,
Tough.
tough. Yes.
No, I'm not. Will I say I am tough? I won't say I'm tough, but I'll say I'm a woman of. But I'll say I'm a woman of steel. I'm a woman of steel.
Mm,
Do you get? But I won't say I'm tough. I won't say I'm aggressive. I won't say I'm tough. I won't say I'm, but I mean, I can say I'm a woman of steel. I just know how to just take things for what it is and just move. And
mm.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, and are you when you say you're a woman of steel? Are you somebody that break up won't hurt? The guy says he's not interested again. It won't even hurt you that much.
No, no, I'm human at the end of the day, and I'm a woman. Do you get, like, breakup will hurt me, and pain, and as somebody who even like holds spaces for women to come in and unpack, and I hold space for women. That's my work. I hold space for women to release and relieve and all of that. I do it too with myself too. Do you get, like, I'm human first. I'm human. I'm a woman. I feel emotions. I'm even a very very sensitive person. That's another. I'm very sensitive. But one thing I would say is that I allow myself to feel these emotions without letting them control me, control my actions, and turn me into something that I am not really going to be proud of. So if somebody breaks up with me, of course I will get hurt. I can cry, I will get angry, but I might not show it to the people around or come and be screaming and be shouting and be cursing. And I won't be doing that. But I would allow myself to feel my emotions, feel my pain. Like, I love myself so much. I pamper myself that way. Because one thing about um one way of self-love, we'll go to self-love very soon, is me allowing myself to feel. Because if I have a child, I'm not going to shout at that child and say, don't cry, don't cry, oh yeah, close your eyes, don't cry. I'm not going to do that to that child. And that's how I see myself. So when I'm hurt, I allow myself to feel the emotions I want to feel, but I'm not really going to act on it or come out and start stalking my ex or come out and start hating and everything. I will take it in, and I'll just know that it's part of life, take the lessons and just move forward with it. It's just part of life, to be honest. I don't think it's not that deep, and it's that deep at the same time. That's what I tell myself. I'll be, it's not that deep, but it's deep at the same time. So yeah.
Okay, okay. Because I'm going through your Medium platform right now, just reading through, looking at the headlines of your writings, and it was the reason I asked the question of whether you were tough or not. Now let's get to your the next protector here, which is the fourth one, I guess. It's the protector, number four, discernment. Protector number four, discernment, and how and you the subtitle is trust what you know. Trust what you know. Trust what you know. But when you talk about discerning and talking about trusting what you know, is it that you're saying that don't trust what you feel, but trust what you know? What are you trying to say there?
Okay, so if you read into the protector, the discernment, I said trust what you know, because when you feel and you see, the next thing is to know. That's your body knowing what you are seeing and what you are feeling. And that's why I say trust what you know. So you have to trust what you feel, trust what you sense. And under discernment, I speak about pillars because I don't want women just go in and just like, oh, I trust this. I just felt this. No, I talk about I use the three pattern recognition rule. That is the first time, the second time, and the third time. And these three pattern recognition rule is in the Bible with Jesus and Peter, with the cock crowing and then three times and then Peter denied and all of that. So it's a rule that has been in time from years, and that's something that I put in the book so that women don't just feel something once and just be like, oh, I felt something once, I just ran away. And no, you should still be calm and listen and observe. And when it's a third time, when it's that third time, then you know that okay, it's a pattern because the third time is when it becomes a pattern. So feeling what you knowing trusting what you know is you trusting what you feel and what you see and believing like okay, I believe and I know what I know. This is what I know, and then you move forward with it. Move accordingly to what you know.
Mm, okay. Okay, but again, just to ask another question on trusting what discernment, trusting what you know, trusting what you know. I think you read it. You gave the definition of discernment as as a mental tool, not just some spiritual gift that everybody needs to have. Everybody needs to possess the ability to recognize subtle differences in situations and know when to take a step back. You don't want to see it once and then take off. And you just want to keep it as you want to watch what the person does consistently. But I think I've heard people who have been counselors say that people counseling lady on how, or what kind of guy she should get married to. He says that if he slaps you once, don't wait for the second. Does that align with checking three times, or should you run once he slaps you?
No, that does not align with checking three times. When this discernment is about subtle cues, anything that is overtly, you don't need to wait three times. You need to move accordingly. But when it's a subtle kind of gaslighting, manipulation, overstepping of boundaries, something that you can just feel in your gut, you can't explain in the scene, you can't see it, but you can see it, you can feel it, then that's when you bring in the three pattern recognition rule.
Okay. I think it
Yeah.
was just good we said that, it's touching the fact that most people need to know what they should run away from. Because somebody could read that and say, I think I need to still wait for another slap. If he slaps me again, and because once somebody has slapped you before and the person realized that the person overacted, overreacted to whatever you did, the person becomes more careful until marriage, and then the person now continues the slapping. They say, "I didn't you see it before? I saw it before, but you only slapped me once. I was waiting for the second and the third time." So when it happens that way, I think it's important that people understand when to take off from there. And as I wrap up this, because I'd like to keep this book chat as short as possible, you wrote about, which was like a final page, I guess, before you go. You said you are not broken, you are not behind, you are not too much, you are not too late, you are not alone. You have learned mental tools to guard your heart, to sharpen your mind. You now know how to see yourself clearly, set your boundaries, stay present, and trust your inner voice. I believe in you with love, Amarachi. But this is one of the affirmations, one of the declarations that I just want you to talk about again, maybe two of that quickly, is what do you mean by you are not too much?
Okay, you're not too much. I'm speaking to the girls who have been told 1,000 times that they have been too much in their expression of themselves, expression of their truths, expression of who they are as a person. And that's where I bring in the like, you are not too much. Because when I say you are not too much, the ladies who have been in that position, who have been told that they have been too much, they would understand that I'm speaking to them because a lot of young women who are the expressive type, who want to show up, who want to show out and be themselves and see themselves, and they have been told to be too much. I remember going to church as a teenager, and But pastor will tell me, and pastor's wife will always come and tell us that a woman should never be heard. She should just be seen. She'll be like, a woman should never be here, just be seen. A good woman is never so. A woman who, when you have heard that kind of thing as a young girl so many times, a woman should not be here, she should only be seen. And you decide to be human, which is to express and be heard. And they tell you, oh, you are too much, you are too this, you are too that, you are too much. It's something that a lot of young women in Nigeria as a whole, especially, have experienced, especially the opinionated ones who have been bold, who have wanted to express themselves and express their truth in so many ways. So they are the ones that I'm really, that's what I mean when I say you are not so much. It's just me just tapping into that essence of truth that already lives within them.
Okay. Okay, and then I guess the final one, which I like you to touch on, I hear you when you said that there are ladies out there who do stop, who overextend themselves beyond what the normal average lady would want to do. Sometimes society kind of wants to calm them down and say, come on, you shouldn't do that. You're too much. And do you think that being, but this is something, this is my observation. I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think that being too being too grounded. Now, this is what I mean. I mean, like a lady who's smart out there, who looks powerful online, who looks strong. Do you think that that can kind of chase guys away from asking her out? Do you think now at work she's there, she's doing solid stuff at work, but do you think being grounded as a lady in terms of being powerful, not being powerful, being put together, your power, the what she portrays or exude online is firmness, seriousness. I'm doing my work. Do you think that can deter guys from coming to her? What do you think about that?
Yes, I think it can. I think of course it can. I think it can scare guys, like not all men, maybe just like maybe like 70% or 60% of men from like coming close to her, overstepping her, or coming near her. And I don't really, I think when it comes to that, I don't really blame the men. I just feel like I just blame society, patriarchy. I blame a lot of things and the conditioning of so many men to believe that they need to be more than, to show up more than, to be valued. I don't think a man really needs to show so much to be valued, but that's what patriarchy has taught men. And because of that, when they see a woman who they feel is more performing than them, they kind of like withdraw back. It's not all men. There are men who are so grounded in their power and in their truth that they do not care about what they have removed themselves from things of the outside and they are grounded in their own truth. So when they see a woman who is performing high, they don't really feel any type of way or feel emasculated or anything. But a lot of men still feel like that, and it sucks for them, to be honest. I don't really think any woman should care about that. I think it's something a woman should make peace with. And I think it's something a lot of women are still finding hard to make peace with. You just have to make peace with it. It's lonely at the top, you know. So when you're at the top, it's that lonely and it's going to scare some people away. But it's either she decides to descend down or she meets a man who is ascending, and it's just it. But a woman who is ascending, who is going up, who is doing the work and doing everything, should make peace with the fact that this is how men have been programmed. It's not really a personal thing. I don't think it's something that a man is just like, I think it's just the conditioning of men. I think this generation of men, they were not really prepared for the way technology and everything is going on right now. They didn't prepare them. It's not like their father and
Mm,
grandfather's time. So I kind of like have pity. Like I just know how to just give grace to that kind of thing. They didn't tell you,
okay.
and now you are in it, so it's what it is.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I just want to say this about you that usually before I interview anyone, as as it's my tradition, I like to do a bit of just research, just get to know the person of of whatever I have been given. And I punched your name online just to see, and I think I could spot your profile or your picture, maybe just two of your pictures online. Is that part of the mystery you said that the man, if one wants to know, you have to chase you enough to get to know who you are, you know what you have online? Is that part of that?
No, no, it's not part of it. It's not part of it. I'm in my rebranding phase. I'm going through a transition in my rebranding phase, and I don't really shy away from putting myself out there. I was really out there before, but I took a step back because I'm rebranding and everything. So yeah, so it's not really, that's not part of the mystery. You can show yourself, and somebody will still not know you in depth. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We can't wait for you to eventually get rebranded so that we can see you even often and just, see what you are doing even online. And then the final question for me, which is, trust me, final question is, do you have somebody you talk to, March? Is that somebody because there's a tendency for you to be a container and people come and tell you stuff, they tell you stuff, and then you're able to counsel them. But sometimes it's difficult to even find somebody who believes you need to be heard. So do you think you have somebody you talk to?
Yeah, I have a community, and I have people I talk to, and I have a very like strong bond with my mom. So I talk to my mom, and I have a very strong relationship with God too. So yeah, I talk to the Holy Spirit, and so yeah, I have a community, I have people I talk to, and yeah, what you said is true. When you are someone who is a container, it's very hard for people to feel you like you also deserve to be listened to, and it's lonely sometimes, to be honest. But it is what it is at the end of the day. Again, it is what it is. So I make peace with a lot of things that I really cannot control. That's the kind of person I am. So
Mm. Okay, thank you so much, Amarachi, for speaking about your book. I think we've spoken for over 30 minutes already. And thank you for speaking so nicely. Anybody who hasn't read the book should by now have an idea of what he or she would find. I think she would find because it's a book pretty much for the ladies as touching getting to know the four protectors, mental tools every lady should have before it's too late. Before it's too late. Now you can get the book if you're watching this right now. You can get the
thank
book
you.
on themainbookie.com and just get the book, and you will be glad that you did. Amarachi, is that your last word you want to say to any lady who's out there who wants to hear you say, who wants to hear the author say something to her as touching the four protectors and whatever message? So, is there something you left out of the book, by the way? Yes.
Okay, yeah, I left out something from the book, and maybe I should just say it to every woman out there.
Yeah, go on,
It's
please.
going to sound harsh, but it's tough love, and that's I want to tell every woman who's listening to this that you are exceptional. You are not the exception.
Mm.
You are exceptional. You are not the exception, and that is believe whatever you and you are is don't take things too personal. Like when somebody moves in a certain pattern with people, do not think that this is very common with women, not men. Shark. I notice that men don't really see themselves as the exception, but with women we tend to see ourselves as the exception. Like, oh, that can't happen to me, or it happened to that person. I'm like, you have to move with the clarity that anybody moves funny with other people, they would move it to you too. So you are exceptional, but you're not the exception. So that's what I'm going to leave with every young woman out there.
Okay, you are exceptional. You're not the exception. That is so powerful. That looks like the fifth protector there. But you heard it here first, right here on this particular book chart. Till I come your way again, have a fantastic week. Thank you very much, Amarachi. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank you very much, Mr. Way. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, cool.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yes. Mm-hmm.